Hey, are you one of the folks looking to make a move over to Ann Arbor, Michigan, one of the best places to live in America? Due to this status, it's becoming harder and harder to find a place to live. Or maybe you just don't want to live near all those people. You just want to get outside of the city a little bit, but you also want to be just close enough where you can experience what there is in Ann Arbor, whether it be for the nightlife or the university or the hospitals or any type of jobs that you might have located within Ann Arbor. But what we're going to do today is we're going to look at some of the different cities surrounding Ann Arbor so you have an idea of maybe some options that you could look outside of the city, because maybe there's just a lack of inventory and you just need to expand your search a little bit. We're going over that in this video right now. Now, in making this list, one could really just pick out a city from random, pick a rabbit out of a hat, but we're not doing that. As we talked about before, I'm a licensed agent in the state of Michigan, and we focus on relocating families, just like we have a family of our own, so that I have a little bit more focused on different schooling, the recreation opportunity for the kiddos, and different shopping and stuff like that. So I'm not looking at really the nightlife or the downtown city areas and stuff like that. So in order to give you better detail of these different areas, different cities I want to focus on, what I'm going to do is we're going to jump into the map so that we have a better idea of where some of these locations are in proximity to Ann Arbor. And then we'll also look at some of the different opportunities that are available for your family. So for reference, here we are in Southeast Michigan, and Ann Arbor is right down here. I'm sure you can see it, but we'll throw a big highlight on there. So the first city that I mentioned here is going to be Brighton. And right now I do have the Brighton area schools highlighted here, so that's a good frame of reference. So Brighton is really, depending on where you're at, it's about 15 to 20 minutes away from Ann Arbor. So this is a perfect little community. It's just outside of Ann Arbor. It's easy to get in, for the most part, relatively easy. But the Brighton area school district, this area is also perfect, but just because it's right on two major expressways. It's right on US 23 here. And it also sits right on I-96. Like I said, we're focusing on Ann Arbor in this video. So this commute down to 23, they do have they did some construction in the recent years, which helps the traffic down into Ann Arbor. Depending on where you're at, you might run into some congestion right around this 2396 interchange. But if you're somewhere south of 96, it really makes that drive really easy. And even within this school district, you could live in many of these different areas right off the freeway. Well, you might be able to take some back roads. Head down to 36 or down over this way. But yeah, it's decent access into the city. Let's take a quick look at the Brighton area schools from niche.com. Now this is ranked in the top 50 schools in the state of Michigan. It's number one in Livingston County, smaller populated county. It's not like Oakland County where Metro Detroit is. Oakland or Wayne or those counties there, but it does have an excellent grade, for if you're considering, the Brighton schools. This is kind of some of the high schools and the elementary schools in the area, so you have a good idea of what's around there. You can take a look at different elementary schools. Let's say your kid's in elementary school. We could certainly, search divided by elementary schools as an option as well. Another area I wanted to bring up was the taxes. There's these different communities, and I'm not going to spill the beans yet, but the different communities are in a couple of different municipalities, meaning a couple of different counties where Brighton is in Livingston County, and Livingston County as a whole has a little bit lower taxes. You'll see as we progress in this video, but Livingston County, what I did, for example, I have an SEV. I'm not going to really explain what SEV is, but it's a state equalized value, and just that's what your taxes might, when you're looking to buy a house, you look at the SEV values because that's what your taxes could be in the future. So I just picked a round number of 200,000, and I'm going to use that for all these different areas that we're going to talk about. Now for this, I'm going to pick a township because a township is typically a little lower than living in the city. Just for S and G's, we'll do this here. The city of Brighton is 41.56 mill rates. That's $8,312, and this is 2021 here, but it's hasn't changed much. Just for example, I want to go down to Brighton Township, so you see that 8,312. And that changes down to 4,924. It's about a 40%, 43%, roughly, whatever that math is. A difference in your annual taxes. That makes a big difference. That's a couple $100 a month or whatever that is. So that makes a big difference as far as the home that you can afford. Now what I want to do is I'm going to jump back into the map here. So I can kind of give you a little idea of what we have around here. And I do have another video up here. We talked about everything in Brighton. So if you can watch that if you want a little bit more information on Brighton. But if you're looking at Brighton, here's the, this gray area is kind of the city of Brighton. They do have a nice downtown, as do all of these. I'm not going to put a lot of focus on the downtown. They do have the nice downtowns. I mean, they're doing a little, sorry about that. They're doing a little construction downtown, but this area does have does kind of stand a little bit more. It's got the pond downtown, which is kind of cool. Like I said, this is all going to be updated and changed because they did a major reconstruction down here. So this is all going to be different. But they do have a lot of nice little festivals and stuff that they have down here throughout the summer. So it's a good place to be in the summer. But all these downtowns, they look fairly similar as a whole. I thought I was going to the pond, but apparently didn't happen. But let me get out of here. Anyways, here's the mill pond here. They have the auditorium or whatever, here, and they got the amphitheater. That's what I meant to say. The little walkways that go along here. You got a nice little park, the imagination station, nice little downtown bars and grills and stuff like that. So it's a nice little downtown. But like I said, I'm not really talking about the downtown areas, but what we're talking about when we're moving to an area, if you don't want to live in a remote, like I used to live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan there, you might want some options, whether that be a Target or a Meijer or a Best Buy. You got Aldi, you got the Kroger, which is a popular option. Of course, you do have Costco, and you do have different restaurants, whether that be franchise restaurants or just regular mom and pop restaurants. There's lots of options here to keep you busy as far as the shopping and stuff like that goes. And let's say, like I said, if you're into recreation opportunities, if you're into mountain biking or into hiking or into fishing, there's different opportunities there as well. I mean, we also do have the shooting range over here at Island Lake, but they have the Huron Meadows Metro Park. You have the the Brighton Rec area. You also have the Kensington Metro Park, the Huron Clinton Metro Park here. So there's all kinds of different options. There's several different wonderful golf courses in the area. I do have the ice rink here. I've skated there a few times as well. But that should give you kind of a good general idea of what there is in Brighton. Like I said, you have everything that you need. You have your shopping. You have your excellent schools. You have your recreation opportunities. So there's lots of different options here in Brighton. With that being said, let's move on to the next. So the next city on our list, number 2, is Dexter. Now here on the map here, let me just go off a satellite view. Here on the map here, as you can see, you got Ann Arbor right here, and Dexter Schools is right over here, just kind of in the kind of northwest area. It does cover a large area, and I know we touched about in the past. I mean, let's say you want to be close to Ann Arbor, but you want to live in the country. You want to have land. You want to have room to play. These areas, most of these areas will provide that opportunity, and they'll provide that opportunity at a lot lesser cost than you might find, over in Northfield or West Bloomfield Township. If you have land over there, it's going to cost a lot more of a premium. But Dexter Community Schools, Dexter area is a great area. I mean, it's really close to Ann Arbor. You can get in from the north side off of 23, or you can get in from the west side over on 94. Let's hop into the school rankings for Dexter Community Schools. This is also an A overall grade for schools. Like I said, if we're looking to be really close to good schools as Ann Arbor, like I've said before, it's got excellent schools, and all these choices have excellent schools. Dexter's a little bit smaller of a school, but it does still have an overall grade of an A. Here you can kind of read some of this yourself, but it's number 38 school district here in Michigan. Like I said, I think all of these are in the top 50 of schools in Michigan. Now, Dexter as an area has a little bit more of that small town vibe. It's got a smaller downtown area, but it doesn't have the big growth like you would find over in a municipality like Brighton does, right? But I think a lot of that is due to the proximity to Ann Arbor. And it just doesn't have the need for a lot of those things. There's not as many residents that live in the school district there as well. But being in Dexter, like I said, you're really close to 94. You're also close to shops like Menards and Meijer and Lowe's. So you have all those options right close in town there. And as far as the different recreation opportunities, you have several metro parks all within the area. You know, you have the Independence Lake County Park. They have the Blue Heron Bay Splash Park. I've been there before with our kids. They love that place. You know, they do have the Lake Independence. You got the Metro Park over here with the Huron River going right through it here. And they also have this cool little Mill Creek Park area. It's kind of a nice little, you know, walkway along the creek. They've done some revitalization to this creek here, so it's a fun place to hang out, do some fishing, you know, stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, you know, a little downtown atmosphere. You bring the kids out, you know, do some fishing. Like I said, you could easily do that over on the Huron River as well. And you do have other metro parks here as well. I mean, you do have the golf courses. You got the disc golf course. You do have good mountain biking over here, over at the DT Energy Foundation Trail. The Pinckney Rec area has got great mountain biking. So there's all kinds of different parks within the area of Dexter. Now let's take a look over at the property tax estimator. So now we're going to go away from Livingston County. We're going to head into Washtenaw County. And so remember this 4924, or just remember straight 5,000 if you want to be easy. So we go into Washtenaw County. Like I said, we're going to pick a township. So we'll pick Dexter Township. And we're going to go into Dexter Schools. So we have a little bit higher millage rate, and our annual cost for homestead is at $73.94, almost $7,400. So that's, you know, at least $2,500 more annually, you know, for taxes, just taxes alone. So keep that in mind as we kind of go through these areas. So that's, I mean, like I said, it might not make that big of a difference, you know, depending on, you know, things that you're worried about. But if you're shopping at the top of your budget, those taxes will make a big difference. And also, like I said, if you're in the actual village of Dexter, you're going to pay considerably more. I mean, $2,000 more. Like I said, it's going to make a big difference. So number 3 on this list is going to be Saline at number 3, Saline area schools. Saline is an area that is just south of Ann Arbor. You know, if you're looking here, here's Ann Arbor. You know, Saline's going to be just south of there. And same goes with Saline. It does have a smaller downtown, but it does have a wide area of you know, houses with property. You can find room to roam out here. You know, there's not as much of the recreational opportunities within Saline, but you're certainly not far from some of the recreational opportunities. You know, within Ann Arbor, a lot of different parks and stuff. So I mean, if Saline's your thing, I mean, we do have the water park, which is just over to the east of Saline there as well. So. And similar to Dexter, I mean, Saline is another one of those smaller communities that doesn't have a whole lot. It's just got a smaller downtown. You know, there's not, you know, there's a few different shops in town here. You got your high school, you got the Tractor Supply, you know, different restaurants like KFC and whatnot. But there's not really, you know, a lot going on downtown as far as you know, shopping opportunities. But you like I said, it's being close to Ann Arbor and being close to Ypsilanti. It does have a lot of options. You know, not that far, right? I mean, you can head over up to Sam's Club here. You got the Meijer up here. I know there's a mall, and the Costco is up at this corner over here. Target's up here, and that's just all up on this kind of southwest corner up here of Ann Arbor, which I said, it's only not that far from Saline. I mean, you're really, you know, 10-15 minutes depending on where you're at, coming from in Saline to get to more or less the southern part of Ann Arbor, and of course depending on the time of day, right, too. So but yeah, that's Saline. That's going to be number 3. So let's look at the school. You know, we talked about the school here. So they are actually the number 1 best school district in Washtenaw County, and of course that is according to niche.com. Ann Arbor is right behind, but these schools are, you know, Saline, I believe, is even in the top 25 in the state of Michigan for public schools. Districts with the best teachers in Michigan, number 3. Best school districts in Michigan, number 7. So I mean, this is an excellent school district there. So the next area on our list is going to be Plymouth Canton Community Schools. I know this is technically 2 different communities, but they are lumped in as one for our video today. I mean, obviously they are the same school district, so the Plymouth Canton School District. So let's go quickly into. Let's stay in this view. So, like I said, along with all the other places, I mean, this place is about you know, good 15-20 minutes depending on traffic to get into Ann Arbor. The bonus part with Plymouth Canton is if you're working in Detroit or somewhere in the southeast Michigan, this area is also close commute to anywhere within southeast Michigan, within Detroit. So that's it's got almost the best of both worlds. Now, if we take a look here at some of the recreation opportunities, we're getting closer to the city, so we don't have as many different recreation parks, recreation area. I mean, you do have, this area over here. You do have a couple different parks. You got the Sky Zone. There is the Fox Hills Golf and Banquet Center, which is actually, they have several nice courses in that area. I haven't been up that way in a while, but this area does continue to expand westward. As you can kind of see here, it's just continuing to grow. And I believe I mentioned in another video, but we talked about moving here. I enjoy hockey, and one of the things is having the USA Hockey Arena. You have lots of good opportunities to watch a lot of good games there. Team USA, the U17 and the U18 team both play at the USA Hockey Arena there. In beyond just Fox Hills Golf and Banquet Center, there are a couple of different golf areas that are within close proximity as well. If you head a little bit north, a little bit south, it does have, as you could probably see on the map here, it does have the the Costco wholesale, which isn't that far up there, the Trader Joe's. It does have IKEA. My wife likes to frequent IKEA whenever we head over this way. You'll see most of the stuff is kind of right along this Ford Road here. IKEA, Target, Meijer, Kroger, all kinds of different restaurants and stuff that you can go to as well. And that's primarily right in between the Plymouth Canton area there. There's some other more industrial places right along here. Some different downtown area up in here as well. So. And if you're looking for that kind of downtown atmosphere, Plymouth does have one of the better downtown atmospheres you can find in southeast Michigan, and especially in and around Ann Arbor. Head downtown here, all kinds of different little taverns, little coffee shops, different places you can check out. Just to kind of if you want to go on a date night or whatever, you spend some time in downtown Plymouth. That's certainly a nice place to go. But let's jump over here to the Plymouth Canton School District. They are the number 3 school district in Wayne County. They are also number 37 here in school district here in Michigan. You can take a look at some of those scores there. Like I said, I mean, you could dig around on niche.com, greatschools.org, I believe it is. You can take a look at that, but there's all kinds of different sites you can find all these different schools, but it just kind of gives you a 30,000 foot view of some of the different schools, different areas around Ann Arbor that you can focus on. Let's take a look at the property taxes here. We left off on what appears to be Dexter. I might have just completely forgot about Saline. Let's actually go to that real quick. So we have Saline. That's in this Dexter Township. I'm just going to do this real quick. Dexter Community Schools, we got at 7,400. And if we quickly go over to Saline, we're going to go to Saline Township though. And this is going to be similar, but it's just a little bit less. I mean, we're sitting at 7,000 in the Saline area school district. Let's take a slide on over now to Wayne County, and we're going to go to Plymouth Township here. And Plymouth Canton Schools. And that gets even a little bit better. So, I mean, if we're looking at taxes, if you remember, you're going back to Brighton. Brighton was at the bottom of the spectrum. Plymouth Canton was just a little bit higher at 65, and then it came Saline at 7,000, and then Dexter was right around that kind of 7,400. So their taxes are similar enough, but like I said, if you're looking to drop your taxes a little bit, then Plymouth Canton or Brighton might be the better areas to look in for that in that regards. And hey, last but not least, I am a real estate guy. Hey, we're going to talk about real estate a little bit. And like I said, hey, we're the number 1 relocation team here in Southeast Michigan. Make sure you reach out to us, text, call, email, whatever is easiest for you. Check out my information down in the description below. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look here over at some of the average prices. So here I do have Brighton schools, Dexter, Saline, and Plymouth Canton. Y'all see them all right down here. And delete this so it's not messing you up. But this kind of gives you an idea. So we're looking here at the top. You have Dexter and Saline that are at the highest priced. I mean, we're sitting right around at Dexter at the highest. I mean, it's right around that. I can almost say, Dexter and Saline, you can probably picture right around that kind of $475 average price point. Obviously, it shows here Dexter, but this is kind of a 12-month rolling calendar, so it doesn't give you the, exact day to day. But this kind of gives you a brief idea. Plymouth is going to be the lowest on the list, sitting right around that 370 mark. Brighton as a whole is sitting right about 400,000. So this kind of gives you an idea of some of the houses you might expect, or some of the prices you might expect for the average house. Now, we have other videos and we do talk about all these areas have, they have a little bit lower value areas, and they do have the high-end luxury areas. So there's certainly different options you can find in either any of these municipalities. And obviously this goes into, age of home, the size of the acreage, the proximity to locations, So a lot of these things come into play when you're looking at different real estate in these different areas. And like I said, this is for areas outside of Ann Arbor. So you're looking for a place to maybe, lay your head down at night. Sometimes people call these the sleeper communities, right? The areas outside of a major metropolitan area where you go to lay your head at night. Well, it's not so much even a sleeper community. A lot of these areas have so much to do, so much to offer. And that's why I want to cover some of the recreation opportunities, the shopping opportunities. They're not so much just the sleeper community anymore. They are an area that you can really spend a lot of time in, and you can enjoy that quality time with your family and still have occupation down in Ann Arbor, or whatever that might be that you're trying to get into Ann Arbor. So hopefully you got some value from this video. Make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, so I can bring you more content like this. And until next time, we'll see you on the next video.